With the most expensive rail fares in Europe, it can often be really hard to find cheap train tickets, especially when you're traveling across the country. However, it is possible with the right knowledge. We're going to show you 10 of the best ways in this video to save. Let's go! First off, this one might seem fairly obvious, but make sure to always book in advance. Lots of tickets might seem to be going for ludicrous prices, but it's often simply last-minute ones. Tickets usually come on sale around 12 weeks in advance and can be had for up to 80% cheaper. You can even set up ticket alerts with Trainline so that you find out when your chosen tickets come on sale. This makes you much more likely to pick up cheap tickets. Split ticketing is also a really clever little hack, and ones that apps like Trainline often use to get you cheaper prices. As an example, if you're traveling from Glasgow to London on a train that stops in both Preston and Carlisle, you can possibly purchase individual tickets from Glasgow to Carlisle, then one to Preston, and finally one to London, and it's a lot cheaper than one individual ticket, say from Glasgow to London. These split tickets are often way cheaper, and you can also stay on the same train itself. There are humongous differences between prices for peak and off-peak tickets on trains in the UK, so it makes a lot of sense to travel during off-peak and super off-peak hours as well. However, make sure you don't buy an off-peak ticket only to get onto a peak train. You'll either end up paying the difference or you'll be asked to leave the train when it arrives at its next stop. Sometimes, however, it is confusing to work out when peak hours are, since arrival time matters just as much as departures, meaning that trains that arrive at their destination for 9 AM are actually peak trains in time for the rush hour commute, even if you catch it at 6 AM. Busy times also vary between locations, so look out for that. You can nearly always get way more bang for your buck when you book return train tickets in the UK. It's a very particularly UK phenomenon whereby you can often pick up your return journey for only a few pennies or pounds more than a single outward journey. So it really pays to make use of this. If you're not sure exactly when you're coming back, it's often the better option to book in an open return. Just be careful if you book an off-peak return, as you'll be restricted by which train that you can get back on. It also really pays to get a Railcard. You can often save up to 50% off with Railcards, and many more people qualify than are actually aware. There are 8 national Railcards in total, such as the 16 to 25 one, the 26 to 30 years old one, and the other Railcards that also give you a third off fares. The 16 to 17 Saver, for example, gives you 50% off, and there's senior Railcards, family and friend Railcards, and loads more. It's definitely worth doing your research to see if you're a fit for any of those available. There are also regional Railcards, which allow you to save a third on tickets with regional train companies. You do need to pay a small yearly fee for some of these, but it's almost always worth it for regular travel. Some of these include the Cambrian Railway, the Cotswolds Line, the Dales Railcard, Thameslink, Heart of Wales, Highland, as well as the Network Railcard, which saves you a third of trains in the southeast of England, but also includes London. As a general thrifty rule of thumb, it's always good to buy things as a group, and buying train tickets is no exception to this rule. When booking tickets for groups of 3 to 9 adults, then you can actually save up to 34% with group save tickets. There's no fee for these, although they're mostly standard class and off-peak. If you're traveling with kids, however, then it's definitely worth considering a family and friends Railcard, which is valid for up to 4 adults and 4 children. That's a bargain. If your train gets delayed or cancelled, then you may in fact be entitled to a full refund. Each train operator has their own refund policy, which adds to things looking a little complicated, but the government is in fact working on a system to bring all refund claims together. It's a general norm that most train operators will provide partial refunds or repayments for delays starting at 15 minutes. Under 30 minutes, you'll get a 25% refund. For anything between 30 minutes to an hour, you'll get 50% back, and anything above an hour should grant you a full refund of a single fare. It makes an awful lot of sense for those making the same train journey on a regular basis to pick up a season ticket, which is the easiest way to make up the biggest savings. On some routes, in fact, you only need to travel twice a week on the train to make the season ticket worthwhile. They do offer unlimited travel and are also available on both child tickets and also as first class options. These season tickets are usually available for shorter journeys, so if you're regularly making long journeys, then an all-line Rover ticket may in fact be your best option. These all-line Rover tickets are 7-day tickets allowing unlimited travel across most lines nationally with few restrictions. They're very pricey, but if you're planning to take lots of long journeys across the UK, then it could in fact be a great way to save. Lastly, this one has gotten much more useful in the era of working from home. A Flexi season ticket allows for you to travel for 8 out of 28 days at any given time between 2 chosen stations. This is a really great option for people who mostly work from home but traveling to work a couple of days a week, giving you a lot of flexibility to pick and choose which days that you want to travel on while saving you money on your train journeys. And that's it. In this video, we've covered 10 ways to pick up train tickets for bargain prices. As the weather picks up here in the UK and demand for days out and travel increases, these are all great methods at keeping costs down, especially for those of you with kids or with a regular commute. Don't forget to give your wallet a big hug by liking and subscribing to our feed here on YouTube so you don't miss out on the many ways to save.